things that stuck with me about the remake. And then when I watched this one, I remember I was like thinking about it and I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be like more gory. You're going to have like your Tom Savini style makeup and special effects. And so I'm expecting to see like a fake head with some blood spurting out or something like that.
Right.
And so when I watched the original, I was like, that literally was nowhere near what I was expecting. Yeah. There's barely any brutality.
Yeah.
Almost. Like the most minimal of gore and very, very limited brutality. And I think, you know, at the time when this movie came out, PG-13 didn't exist.
Right.
That rating didn't exist. So Tobe Hooper was like, I need to reach a wider audience. Let me try to make this PG.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. PG. I mean, the studio didn't go for it, obviously. We're watching a rated R movie. But
the majority of the reason is because of the bitches.
The bitches.
Yes. At the end of the movie, when the cook is screaming, and he screams, "You bitch."
Sure.
I think there's like 2 or 3 utterances of it.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between a PG and an R when this came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't the gore?
Nope.
What? Wow.
Nope, because like there's almost no gore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, so we just saw Leatherface pop up on screen for the first time.
Yes. Yep.
One of my favorite scenes. The image of him with
the first mask
and the skulls behind him on the wall. You know, they just found the tooth. Like, and I love the house.
Oh my god, the house is incredible.
Yeah, there's so much going on there, and it's just so like, oh, here's a tooth. That's weird.
Now, wouldn't that give you cause to run?
Yeah, like I don't know that I'd go in that house.
Oh no.
Yeah.
If I found actual like tooth that had like it didn't look like it fell out accidentally, I'm gonna think that's probably a house I don't want to go in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
it had the roots and
it had. Oh yeah, we had the cavities. We had that sucker was yanked.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that. You know, the character finding the tooth and like giving it to the girl to scare her and everything, and I'm mind blown by it because I'm like, yeah, that's what we're just grabbing a tooth and we're just thinking it's funny.
Yeah.
We're not. But I mean, it really did kind of set the tone for body parts. Expect to see bone.
Yeah.
Expect to see body parts. And it really kept the slaughter theme.
Yeah. The gore. So the 2 scenes we've had with gore so far.
Yep.
When Franklin gets cut in the van.
Yep. By the hitchhiker.
Right. And then when
Leatherface
comes in and Jerry, I believe.
Jerry.
Yes. Fucking sledgehammers Jerry in the head.
Yes, whacks him over the head.
There's blood there, but it's not a spurting.
Nope.
There's some on his chest because his head got caved in.
Yep.
And it's just so efficient.
It really is. And I think what makes that particular...
It's like the hitchhiker says, 1 hit.
Yep. Yeah, literally. And then what I think for me, what kind of sells that scene when he hits him, obviously, like, if you saw spurting or if you saw more gore, a lot of people would be like, oh, that's really scary. But, like, what does it for me is the seizing. Because that, to me, that's what happens if you get hit in the head hard enough. Yeah. You're going to start seizing. Yeah. And so I think that scene is what really did it for me, where I was like, oh, he hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know? And so right now what we're looking at here is, what was her name?
Pam.
Pam has just walked in, well, I shouldn't say walked, fell into the living room of the Texas Chainsaw house. And so it's kind of doing a panorama of bones and feces and dust, and she's hot and sticky and sweaty and rolling around.
And I love the protractedness of the scene. It's just, and when you see it from her point of view, it just sells it. And I love when Leatherface sees her, he's like, oh shit, another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That scene right there.
Yeah.
That is my scene. That is the most iconic scene to me right there. Mm-hmm. So what I'm referring to is Pam and Leatherface just saw each other. Pam goes to run towards the front door. Leatherface comes up behind her. You cut to the opening, the front door, and you see Pam run out and Leatherface grab her by the waist and just rip her back in, take her downstairs, and he put her on the hook.
Yeah, and there's the way that it's shot, where it's almost like an under.
Yeah.
It plays up how huge and hulking Gunnar Hansen is.
Yeah.
You know, he had 4-inch heels on.
Yep.
3 or 4 inch, I forget.
It's 4.
Okay, thank you.
I had to be precise about it.
Yeah.
I was really on it.
Put him up to like 6'7".
Yeah.
He's a giant, and it just like he just grabs her like she's nothing.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know, she's struggling her hardest, and she
nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
It's terrifying.
Yeah,
it is literally watching someone be helpless.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like the true meaning of helpless.
And her terror is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's even better about filming in this kind of environment, filming in this house, like obviously tensions are high, but also they really did use blood. And they really did use dead animals and
human bones.
And human bones. And so it stunk. It truly, truly stunk. And so, like, you know, you're in this situation where, like, I'm in a, you know, imagining that you're Pam, I'm in this house that I don't know where my friend went. And I just, you know, found a room full of dirt and dead animal bodies and blood and everything. And it's like, oh my God. Where are you going to be taken next?
It doesn't smell like pumpkin spice in there.
It doesn't.
No.
And my white girl self says it needs to smell like pumpkin spice.
My white girl self also says it needs to smell like pumpkin spice. So
pumpkin spice or die, man. It is spooky season. I love all you apple cider people. I really do. I'm right there with you.
I love apple cider.
It's another fall drink.
Great secondary.
It is. It is a great secondary. Yep. Secondary. Let's tip that right there. Nail that down.
If it's your preferred drink, no judgment.
No. Enjoy your apple, but yeah, you are in pumpkin season.
Fuck me up with pumpkin.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
That's how I order my coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, you walk in.
Fuck me up with pumpkin.
Yeah. What do you want today? Or welcome to Starbucks. How can I help you?
Can I have a venti pumpkin spice cold brew, but fuck me up with pumpkin.
Yes, yeah. Can you add a pumpkin loaf and a pumpkin muffin in there too? We're really going white girl crazy today. That's how I like it. I haven't even tried that apple drink. I heard not great things.
Yeah.
I heard that syrup's real thick. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't like syrup at the best of times.
No, I'm tough. I'm iffy on like apple flavored things.
Sure,
I love apples.
You got to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you do it too sweetly, then you're just.
Yeah.
It's not the right one. It's not the right one. So when you saw this movie, so just to let you know, Jay graduated high school
2000.
So 21 years ago.
Period.
Yes. Period.
2000.
2000.
Period. Not 2000 and then some more years after a long pause.
Yes.
2000.
Period.
000.
Period. And so, you know, watching Texas Chainsaw then and then watching it now, what's changed for you?
I'm glad you asked. Thanks. Because we're watching the scene where everyone has kind of gone off, leaving Sally and Franklin together
at the van,
and they're having a conversation like siblings. And I don't think I've ever noticed before this viewing right now. You know, it's okay. So she's frustrated, she's annoyed with him, but it's sibling frustration.
Yep.
And it feels genuine and honest, and they're having a genuine conversation like siblings do.
Yeah.
And I had never noticed that before, and it feels like a conversation with family. Like you're frustrated, you're annoyed, and like you can't scream because it's family, it's someone that you love and you don't want to hurt them,
but at the same time you're like, why aren't you getting this?
Yes.
Like you want to shake them.
Yeah.
But shake them with love.
Yeah.
I remember watching the 03 version and then watching this one and thinking about the political climate at the time, thinking about this Hick-style family turning to cannibalism because they can't afford other actual meat or anything like that, and then going back to the 03 version, I got angry at the 03 version.
Really?
I did, yeah. So I think the reason why I got so upset with the 03 version was because, yeah, you know, you're remaking a movie and everything, but you're just doing gore for the sake of gore. And this, watching this Texas Chainsaw, it really stood for something. You know what I mean? Like, it had a purpose behind it. There was a reason that Tobe Hooper made these choices.
Yeah.
Well, Tobe Hooper and Kim Henkel, I should mention her as well. She was also a big portion. Kim. I need to mention him as well because they both took this and really made it what it was. And, you know, it's hard to watch the '03 version now and just think like, yeah, it's a gory movie for the sake of being gory, and then watching the 1974 version and be like, man, yeah, because the media was lying to you. I mean, the media is lying to us now too, but you know, they're not telling you what's happening, and I think what was so great about this one too was that you didn't really need that gore to be terrified,
right,
or to be sickened, or to be grossed out, I should say. It's gruesome in its own beautiful way. Just found Pam in the freezer. Yeah, okay. So what's even cooler about this is that the fact that, like, Howard just found Pam in the freezer, right? So he went in the house. Kirk. Okay. So Kirk found Pam, and Kirk's going through the house. He's looking for Jerry. He's looking for Pam. And so he comes down into, like, pretty much Leatherface's workshop.
Yeah.
He sees the bloody hook. He sees, like, just this terrifying...
His reaction.
Beautiful reaction. Hands on the hips.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's the same way you found the tooth, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that.
Huh.
Different.
Not my reaction.
No.
Not what I would do.
No, God, no. No. You walk in... What's your reaction? You walk into a room like that. What's your reaction?
Well, it's been nice. I'm out of here.
I love you guys. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Yes. But Kirk found Pam in the freezer. He opens the freezer. Pam comes out. She's flailing, right? She's got... Her neck is slit, I believe. It looked like it, anyway. Even though we didn't see the scene where he slit her throat. But it looks that way across. She comes out. She's flailing. And then this next scene, this next kill... that you don't even really see. Leatherface comes down, he sees Kirk, he bashes him over the head, but you don't see him do it. Like, you don't see him do it. You don't see any blood. But your brain is going to take that and be like, look what you just witnessed, even though it really wasn't there. It's amazing.
Power of suggestion.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's really, really phenomenal. And I think that's what makes horror movies so enthralling for me, is that the power of suggestion is so strong.
Yeah.
Because that's a good horror movie will rely on that a lot and let your brain make this scary scene even scarier.
Yeah.
Your mind is going to do that. If it's a good director, if it's a good screenplay, you got good actors, your mind is going to do the work. Yeah. And that's what's important.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was the first really good shot in the movie of Leatherface's mask. I don't know if you read anything about how they made the masks.
All three of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took molds of multiple people.
Yeah.
And then cut them apart. And I guess the mold making process itself, some of the people just couldn't, like, handle it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, couldn't handle that, having that on their face?
Yeah, so they're just sitting still and holding the mask. Because it's a labor-intensive...
Sure.
You know, you're not moving.
But you got to sit and let it dry.
Yeah. You know, your mouth is covered. If you're lucky, you have things up your nose. Yeah. So, yeah, and they had, like, 20 different faces, and they just cut them apart, and that's how they made them. And I guess, I forget the art director's name who did it, but he found just the right mix of latex that would age it naturally.
Yeah.
So, like, the color that's on there is natural. It's all just part of it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Well, one of my favorite things, too, is that with Leatherface and, you know, skinning someone's face off and having to, like, put it together and everything. One of my favorite things about Tobe Hooper was, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what circulates, but, I mean, the story is Tobe Hooper had a friend who was a doctor friend, and in college, this doctor friend took it upon himself to, for Halloween, go down to the morgue and skin a cadaver and then wore the face of the cadaver as a Halloween mask. And so that's how Tobe Hooper got Leatherface. I don't know if that's true.
I'm going to research this.
I'm telling you, man, when I researched it, that is the story that came up. I read about 4 or 5 different websites about it, Wikipedia. Yeah, like that's the story. But and I think if that's true, it really shows how the 60s and the 70s really just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fair game.
Yeah.
Like it was the Wild West in the 60s and 70s.
And now,
oh my God, if
I find a chipmunk or a squirrel dead in my yard, I give it a proper burial.
Exactly. I remember working in a hospital, and I worked at a hospital down in Columbus, and I had to go and replace 2 toe tags. And in order to do that, there's a heck of a lot of clearance you have to go through. So not only did I have to be accompanied by a security guard, but we had to go through 4, like, passcode doors. Yeah. Because people are fucking weird.
Yeah.
So, like, you had to go, and he had to, like, stand in there with me for a brief